The sound of raindrops lightly pattering against the window caused a certain blue hedgehog's ears to flick. Sonic softly groaned and blinked his eyes several times in a daze. The hedgehog opened his eyes fully and slowly sat up. He noticed that he was in a very small room, lying in a twin bed that was placed next to a large window. Sonic's eyes widened in realization. He remembered the transformation and immediately looked at his hands, expecting them to be giant claws. But instead, he was relieved to see that he seemed to be back to normal again. Was it all a dream? He unfortunately knew otherwise when he looked out the window and saw morning light faintly appearing through the dull gray clouds.
Well, at least I have my speed again.
The hedgehog proceeded to get out of the bed, but he immediately flinched from the sharp pain in his shoulder and side, as a bunch of bloody bandages that were loosely wrapped around him fell to the floor.
Ah, man! Could things get any worse?
Unfortunately for Sonic, it was then that Jade decided to come in and check on him. She blinked a bit in shock when she saw that Sonic was back to his normal hedgehog self again. However, she was more concerned about his injuries.
Sonic, wait, you shouldn't move your shoulder too much.
As Jade made her way to the bedside, Kurt and Tails came into the room. They also blinked in surprise when they saw that Sonic had changed, though Tails seemed to be more relieved than anything.
Sonic! It's good to see you're back to normal. But I have to ask, what happened to you?
It's kind of a long story.
Meanwhile, a white bat sleeping in a large glass cell groaned from the sensation of someone shaking her awake and the urgent sound of a familiar voice.
Rouge, I need you to wake up and listen to me.
Knuckles? What happened? Where are we?
There's no time to explain. Look, I need you to find Sonic. Tell him I'm with Dr. Cameron.
What? What are you talking about?
Before Knuckles could say anything else, the cell door opened and Rouge was forcefully dragged out by two robots.
Remember what I said, Rouge!
That was the very last thing that Rouge heard from Knuckles, before the cell door slammed shut and she was tossed outside the egg carrier to plummet to the ground below. As the ground grew closer and closer, Rouge finally snapped out of her dazed state and realized she was actually falling. Thinking quickly, she flapped her bat wings as fast as she could to slow the momentum of her fall. Fortunately, it worked, and she was able to hover slowly just seconds before she hit the ground. She breathed hard in relief, and her heart was pounding from the adrenaline. She finally looked back up at the sky and saw that the egg carrier she just fell from was miles beyond her reach now.
Well, this does not look good at all. Hang in there, Knuckles. I'll be back for you with Sonic.
I can't believe this! Dr. Cameron is working with Eggman?
Yep, unless we do something soon, the whole world will be in danger. So I'm not going to sit around here while I still have my speed.
Whoa now, Sonic, you're not going anywhere in that condition. Looks like I'll have to reapply your bandages. They did fit much better last night.
Jade took out a fresh roll of gauze from her coat pocket and knelt down to Sonic's level. Her eyes enlarged when she got a closer look at his shoulder and side.
Wow, Sonic! You seem to be healing a lot faster than normal. I just removed the bullet from your shoulder last night, and it looks a lot better than before. The cut on your side just looks like a big scratch now, too.
Meh, must be part of this whole curse thing. Still hurts, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I kinda thought you were something else.
Nah, it's alright. If I saw something looking the way I did, I would have shot at me too.
Sonic grimaced at his own words. It was too close to the truth. He must have looked pretty scary to be mistaken for a dangerous animal. He didn't want to accept it. Jade noticed his solemn expression and decided not to linger on that subject.
Well, Kurt here is helping us find a way to get the planet back together. It seems Eggman has captured his professor that has the documents, though. We were going to try finding him after we took care of you.
Jade is quite a vet, you know. She spent several hours surgically removing that bullet using only a pair of kitchen tongs, dish towels, and a fork we could find. I've never seen anything like it.
It's nothing special, really.
Just then, the sound of an alarm message beeped from the emergency communicator watch Tails had on him. Tails clicked a button on the watch, and his eyes widened as he read the incoming message.
Guys, it's Amy! She says they found Chris's grandfather, but he's not himself, and they need help as soon as possible.
I bet one of those Gaia creatures got him. What should we do?
I think we should go.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I think I know someone who can help.
Who?
Tails gave a glance to Sonic, giving him the answer. Sonic facepalmed at his own ignorance and sighed deeply in annoyance.
I don't know, Tails. I might have ripped that thing out of that little girl last night, but I don't even know exactly how I did it, or if it did any good.
It did, Sonic. She woke up just as Kurt brought her to an infirmary shelter. She seemed to be herself again.
Yep, and her aunt was really happy to see her there too.
Sonic turned away, pondering slightly for a moment. He was relieved to know that he had saved that little girl, but the way he had to do it still quite literally pained him. Not to mention, he still didn't want a certain someone to know.
I'm not too sure it's a good idea.
Sonic looked down, slightly embarrassed. He shuffled his feet anxiously and shifted a bit. It was years of knowing these actions that Tails knew exactly what he was thinking.
You're afraid of what Amy will think, aren't you?
What? Nah, I mean, well,
Sonic, it's okay. I know this must be hard for you, but you don't have to do it alone. We're all here for you. And right now, there's a sweet old man that needs our help. And if Amy is anything like I know she is, she'll understand.
Sonic looked away again to think for a moment. As much as he hated that monstrosity, he also knew the priorities and that it could be useful. He finally sighed and looked back up with a small smirk.
Okay, if that's what it takes, then let's go.